guys, this is Miss Morell with your recap for Wednesday and Thursday, October 7th and 8th. In class on those 2 days, as always, we offered a video recap from the previous 2 days. We did a warm-up in class, which means that this is the second day of warm-ups, that you can now open your homework assignment and do those warm-up questions. And right below there is a video explaining the warm-up questions. So hopefully that'll help everyone make a 100 on the warm-ups. Next, we reviewed our material from the previous day with a review presentation. So we've been working on organelles, and we've learned that there are 7 main organelles, 2 of which are found only in plant cells. So there are 2 types of cells. There are plant cells and animal cells. Both of them are eukaryotic. Both kinds of cells have a cell membrane, which allows materials in and out of the cell selectively. It allows things in that the cell needs and keeps things out that the cell doesn't need. It also lets things out of the cell, like waste products and other things that need to exit the cell. So that's the cell membrane, a selectively permeable membrane. Cytoplasm is the second organelle, and cytoplasm is a clear gel-like substance with all of the organelles suspended in it. So its main job is to protect the organelles and give the cell a little bit of its shape. The next organelle is the nucleus, which is also found in both plant and animal cells. And the nucleus is the control center for the cell. It regulates and controls all the cell processes, and it also contains DNA. So because it has a nucleus, remember, that makes plant and animal cells eukaryotic. The next organelle is a vacuole. Vacuoles, think of them as a storage closet. They store water and waste and nutrients and things like that until the cell can either use the materials or, if necessary, get rid of the materials. Now, vacuoles in plant and animal cells are a little bit different. In plant cells, there's only one vacuole, and it's really big. Think of it like a water balloon. And when it fills up with water, it pushes against another organelle, the cell wall, and those two things together create the structure that the cell has. And that pressure exerted by the vacuole on the cell wall is a force known as Turgor pressure. There are vacuoles in animal cells, but they're small, and there are 2 or 3 of them. Sometimes there are more, but they don't have as big a role outside of just storing materials in an animal cell as they do in a plant cell. In a plant cell, the vacuole, through Turgor pressure, helps give the cell its shape. Mitochondria, found in both plant and animal cells. And mitochondria are responsible for a process called cellular respiration, which we'll learn more about in the coming weeks. And cellular respiration simply breaks down nutrients, like glucose mainly, into energy that the cell can use, called ATP energy. So we think of the mitochondria as the powerhouse of the cell because it provides that ATP energy. I just mentioned a minute ago the cell wall, the organelle found in plant cells only, and combined with a full vacuole, Turgor pressure, that's the force applied on the wall by the vacuole, gives the plant its shape. So cell walls give the plant its shape and also protect the cell. And then finally, there are chloroplasts. Chloroplasts found only in plant cells because chloroplasts are responsible for absorbing radiant energy from the sun and using that radiant energy to produce glucose in a process called photosynthesis. So what they do is they convert radiant energy into chemical energy. So again, found only in plant cells. So those are the major organelles, where you can find them and what their jobs are. So that's what we've spent Wednesday and Thursday going over. So I also answered any questions that students had on the project. Your projects are due next week on, I believe, Thursday and Friday of next week. No, that's your test. Your projects are due on Tuesday and Wednesday of next week. So that would be the 13th and 14th. So be sure that if you have any questions about the project, you reach out to your science teacher and get them answered. We also played Kahoot to study the organelles. And then I assigned you a cells magic square practice worksheet to do for homework to reinforce that learning, and then reminded you to continue working on your project and to study for your test. So that was class on Wednesday and Thursday, October 7th and 8th. Hope this gets you where you need to be. Have an awesome day.